Hey guys, this is Dark Hero Josh here, and today we are going to be talking about, if not one of the best non-sequel animes of this winter season. Yes, I'm going to be talking about My Dress Up Darling, and specifically why you should watch it. Now, honestly, if you haven't heard the title My Dress Up Darling, or haven't seen like a My Dress Up Darling edit like on TikTok or on Instagram, or in general just haven't even heard of it, then you're most definitely living under a rock, because My Dress Up Darling is one of those big animes this winter season that has a lot of hype around it and a lot of attention towards it. And if you couldn't tell by my thumbnail specifically saying that you should watch My Dress Up Darling or this anime, then you should already know by this video's thumbnail and the title that I'm going to try to convince you to watch it. Now, essentially the plot given for My Dress Up Darling is about our main protagonist, Wakana Gojo, and he's a first year in high school, and his dream is becoming a Hina doll craftsman like his grandfather. And his young love for Hina dolls actually started at a really young age, but because of his focus in trying to become a Hina doll craftsman, that resulted in him having no friends throughout elementary and middle school, mainly because throughout a lot of the things that normal teenage boys like video games or anime and manga, his is pretty different from, I guess, the average high schooler. So he pretty much thinks that there's no one else that can relate to his love for Hina dolls, and he can't share or express that kind of side of him because of the fact that he thinks that no one else does. But then we are introduced to the female lead of the series, best girl, Maureen Kitagawa. And although her introduction, it was her being literally thrown across the classroom, hitting Gojo's desk pretty hard, that doesn't make her any less of the best girl. But anyways, back to the main plot. Pretty much at the end of the day, Gojo was going to the sewing club, or I guess the room that the sewing club are using, because his sewing machine at home is broken, and he decided to try to make the kind of like costumes, I think, for the Hina dolls with the sewing machine, but is later then caught by our best girl, Maureen. Now, at first Gojo kind of tries to hide it, saying that it's nothing and stuff like that, but then he eventually showed her, and it was the total opposite of the reaction that he was expecting. He was expecting for her to absolutely think that he's an absolute weirdo, but Maureen is pretty much amazed, not only by the Hina doll but also by the fact that he can sew. And then she explains to him the reason why she also is in the sewing room, and her reason being is because she wanted to make an outfit for a cosplay, and that she didn't really know how to use a sewing machine. So she tried to learn little by little into how to use a sewing machine and make her own cosplays. But what she tried to make was pretty much in a whole trash. No offense, Maureen, but that stuff was literally trash. But then she asked Gojo if he could make her a cosplay outfit, and then he says yes. Now, honestly, this anime only has 2 episodes right now, but I only see throughout the 12 episodes that it's going to get for it to be bigger and better. Now, personally, I don't read the manga, but I was planning to read the manga when the anime stops at episode 12, or I guess I should say when the first season of the anime ends. So that should be already proof enough how much, I guess, influence, or I guess how much the anime was that enjoyable to me that I chose to start reading the manga, or at least made the choice to read the manga in the future. Now, if any of you actually watched the anime and have watched episode 2, then you already know that this anime has mad fan service. And I have a buddy named Io Erie. I'll put his channel and his TikTok on screen right now. And he said that he started reading it, and in the first 8 chapters there was a lot of fan service. So I guess if you could look past the fan service, then it would be quite an enjoyable show for you. But the fan service from, I guess, the 2 episodes that I've watched, the fan service isn't as excessive as Tamaki's from Fire Force, or as random, because if you watch Fire Force, then Tamaki gets into literally weird positions and situations with her fan service. But with My Dress Up Darling, for the first 2 episodes, the fan service looks at least understandable into why they would try to, I guess, put more fan service into that episode, but it's not random, which I personally like. And I think the randomness is a big difference between the My Dress Up Darling fan service and the Fire Force fan service. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm a huge fan of Fire Force, but the fan service definitely takes a toll on it, I guess, overall or something. Now, honestly, I really think that you should watch it because, one, you can make a lot of friends talking about it, mainly because of the fact that it has so much hype that you can connect with a lot of people that also enjoy the show and talk about the weird and crazy moments that happen in the episodes and the episodes to come. And second, because it is a very enjoyable anime, especially to watch during the winter season. Personally, I like to think of it as the Horimiya of 2022, but of course, way less fan service. Because the hype of the show to My Dress Up Darling is almost as much as, Horimiya was getting in its prime. Or I should say, when it was airing. But I don't know, if this video doesn't convince you to watch My Dress Up Darling, I don't know what will. But as we come towards the end of the video, if you haven't subscribed already, please subscribe, like the video if you enjoyed it, or if it even manages to convince you to watch My Dress Up Darling, comment that down below too. But without further ado, have a great day and see ya.